I'm Andy from The New Divide. We are a rock and roll band from the Northwest. We are starting this blog series slash Instagram slash podcast all at the same time because we love coffee. We travel the world in search of people because we play rock and roll and we go on a Jesus mission. We'll talk about that another time. But we love coffee and we love trying it as we go. We're not experts by any means, but we really enjoy the process of learning about coffee. And so we wanted to invite you to learn with us as we do it and as we try different shops, as we try different beans and different methods. Today, we're going to do a pour over while we introduce Jonathan to you. We're going to do a pour over. We're using 30 grams of a locally roasted Vancouver, Washington-based bean. I'll have Aaron tell you about that. We're using 30 grams to 470 grams water. Heated to 202 degrees. It's been filtered. We've pre-warmed our cups. We've pre-warmed pretty much everything that needs warming. I'm going to start making coffee and you can introduce.
Cool. So yeah, today we are going to do a roast by Compass Coffee Roasting right here in Vancouver, Washington. They have 2 locations here in Vancouver. One's downtown Vancouver, a brand new shop they just opened, and they have a roasting location as well where they roast 5 days a week. The head roaster's name is...
The head bean?
That's what they call it, believe it or not. His name is Mike. He obviously pays very much attention to detail. If you even look at the little description here.
That's a lot of info.
There's a lot of info. So this is in Ethiopia from the Yirgacheffe region.
Do you know how to say the name?
Dido. It's right there. This is going to be hopefully a really nice, bright, kind of fruity.
All the notes on there.
Nectarine, melon, tangerine, and jasmine. Nice. I've had some jasmine before, noted stuff. It's very good. So they've also won the best roaster in Vancouver for the last 3 years. So they're doing really good stuff. They've been around for a while. So we're excited to try that today on the pour over.
Jonathan and Sarah and I went to their shop today and it was really classy. Really exciting. We liked it. We'll be back.
So while Andy's making that, we are here to really introduce our new guitar player. His name is Jonathan Shea. We're so excited to have him come aboard, travel around the world with us, go find people like Andy was saying. And he's also a fellow coffee enthusiast, which is so good for us because now...
And he knows way more about it than we do.
He knows way more than we do, so that really helps us out. But yeah, Jonathan... Really quick, we just want to ask this question. It's really important.
Okay.
What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Oh gosh.
And this is important because he's from, he lives in Nashville, so.
I really like. I think "Welcome to New York" is my favorite one right now.
That's cool. I don't even know that song.
I don't know that song.
I don't even know it, but I'm sure it's good.
1989. Check it out. Not on Spotify though, because Taylor doesn't fly that way.
What's up? So Jonathan, quickly, can you tell us and tell all of us the story of how you met the New Divide, how you met these guys, us?
These guys.
These
dudes. Yeah, so I grew up in Colorado, Fort Collins, Colorado, kind of the northern area, and my sister and I used to play music around that area, and we just kind of did like a duo acoustic thing where I would play guitar and she sang, and we just happened to be doing this really random show, like our first show ever at this tiny coffee shop in Johnstown, like a little farm town in Colorado, and it's owned by like this hippie dude named Dana, and he's a super cool guy.
You played shows there in your old band, right?
In a different band.
Everybody played shows at 3J's at one point or another.
Check it out if you're in that area, and if it's still there. And we just happened to play this really random show, and they made lasagna for us before it for some reason. Homemade lasagna, and I guess they did that for like all the bands, and my mom and sister and I were kind of sitting at a table secluded to ourselves, and because we didn't know anybody else there, and this tall lanky dude comes walking over and he's like, "Hey, my name's Andy, can I sit with you guys and have lasagna?" And we were like, "Okay, I guess so." And he does his thing and gets to know us really well within like 2 minutes, and we just kind of we had a really fun show, and it was really good, and they were being crazy on stage, and like and it made our act look pretty down in the dumps. But
We had the boxes then, didn't we?
yeah, jumped
We
on
like
top.
stood on boxes.
They were pretty tall. They were like what, four
They were
feet
like
tall?
a 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall box.
They were
that
pretty
we
big. I don't know how you
off of.
jumped up
They're
there.
about as tall as me.
Yeah.
We had to get rid of the boxes when Aaron joined the band.
Oh my gosh. And yeah, so we played, and then afterwards we went to this local legend of a place called Johnson's Corner, and
Which
they
I've
have
never
like
ever been to, and I've lived in Colorado for
As a local,
however
that's
long
shame.
life.
yeah,
so.
it's sad. They have like the biggest cinnamon rolls that I've ever seen. And my family went over there, and we're just kind of hanging out. And then like 5 minutes later, these guys come walking in, and we ended up just sitting there talking to them for like 3 or 4 hours until like midnight. And okay, it probably wasn't that long, but close. And just kind of kept in contact with them after that. And they always stayed at my parents' house when they came through Nashville.
Yeah.
And because we moved to Nashville after that. And this last time they were there in September, I think. Just asked if I wanted to join the band, and been out here doing this for like a little over a month now, and it's been a blast.
That's awesome. And last time we were in Nashville with him, we ended up going on a little coffee crawl.
Yeah.
I got super jacked by the third shot because I decided I want coffee at every shot. Bad decision, but
Yeah, I think I had like 2 cortados, and I was done. Like,
Well, you worked at Barista Parlor, so
Yeah.
you took us to Barista Parlor. Then we went to Crema, I
Crema,
think.
yep.
And then where else did we go?
we were gonna go to Steadfast, but then we ran out of time and went to the Soda Parlor instead, which is another.
We just
good
went and got
one.
root beer.
Yeah, it was it's pretty dang good. Maine root beer.
Yeah, I've completed making this coffee,
Yes.
so have some coffee. It's turned out a lot darker than I thought it might.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty
It
bright.
smells really good. I'm satisfied.
Even tells you what temperature it's roasted at.
Yeah,
good.
they roasted this at 428, I think he says. 418 degrees Fahrenheit. Really cool. So, Jonathan was probably judging me as I made that, but I did a slow pour over. We love experimenting with coffee and trying it out and doing different measurements and different things. We'll do a lot more of that in the future, I think. But we just went down to Mexico and played a show a couple of weeks ago. And on our way back from Mexico, we stopped at a few different coffee shops. Where was your guys' favorite?
I would say my favorite experience was probably a shop called Wholesome in San Diego in North Park.
Yeah.
Park.
And it was actually pretty new. They'd only been open for I think months actually. They hadn't even been open that long.
Yeah.
And great atmosphere. The vibe was, everything was really clean. The
Yeah.
design was really clean.
We had a really good nitro cold brew.
Yeah, I ended up getting a nitro. It was really good. Definitely in the top 5 of nitro. And we ended up getting a bag there. It was, if I remember right, I believe it was also in Ethiopia. I believe.
Yeah, I
but
think they just
had-
called it Jasmine too.
but it was.
Yeah.
It was like drinking jasmine tea. It was
Yeah.
great.
It was really good.
Where was your favorite, Jonathan?
I think my favorite might have been Copa Vida. Also, it was in downtown San Diego. They've got a few locations, but it was really open and really bright, and just a nice feel to it. And the baristas were super friendly, and I actually ended up, one of my former coworkers worked there, which was kind of weird.
I really liked, on our way back, we stopped in San Francisco for a short time, and we went to a place called Sight
yeah.
Glass, if you haven't been there. Just a few of our recommendations. This blog post or this podcast, which we're going to invite you to subscribe to the podcast we're going to start doing, just called Coffee with the New Divide. We're going to literally sit down with people and try different coffee things. We're going to learn, we're going to grow. We invite you to do that with us, but we're going to be interviewing and talking to some really cool people in different environments, like in coffee shops. So literally you'll be having coffee with the New Divide. If we come to your city, message us or leave a comment and tell us where we need to come have coffee with you. Come sit on Coffee with the New Divide with us, and we'll discuss something. Today we just want to take the moment to welcome Jonathan to the New Divide. We're really excited he's a part of this. He's brought the elf choir down a whole octave. That's an elf joke. Aaron never gets movie references.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Aaron will never get a movie reference we ever make. But
doesn't get any of them.
Unless it's a Denzel movie.
unless it's a Denzel movie, Aaron will always get a Denzel movie. Guys, thank you for watching and listening. Coffee with the New Divide. We're gonna drink our coffee, and we'll see you soon.
Hopefully that's when some music cues in. It was.